Hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We is here. This is part two of part three
Hello.
of the
Happy
Salt Lake.
Monday.
Oops,
Happy Monday.
sorry. I forgot I had the volume on that.
That is hilarious. Love it.
I was listening to something over the weekend and forgot the volume on. Well, we all know that this isn't a very professional show.
Pretty
Uh,
much.
Oh my God. Okay, so welcome everybody to the commentary zone. As you enter the room, please don't forget to give us a little thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, notification bell, tell a friend. Today on the docket, we have The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 2, Episode 23, Reunion Part 2. I wasn't mad.
I kind of liked it.
You didn't like it?
No, I kind of liked it.
Oh, okay. Because, like, while watching it, I kind of like you've been saying all along that Meredith is just mad that Lisa was friends with Jen, but she never said it. And I felt like this time, not only did she say it, but she took out her lawyer credentials and she started proving a case of how she was a good friend and supportive of Lisa, whereas Lisa might not have been.
Mm-hmm.
And Andy highlighted it.
Good job, Indy. It was it was good. And Heather was on point with
Yeah,
her
that,
assessment.
Heather was a little law clerk there, backing up everything. Oh my God, they were piling on Lisa though.
Well, she was the biggest mess of the season, if we're being honest.
I did have one question walking away from this. Why did we have that big old long conversation about someone who did not attend the reunion and then the other person who was dead? Rest in peace.
It just happened to be that way because it wouldn't have been a big issue if Mary had been there. But since she was there, you're basically talking about two people who weren't there. Excuse me.
But it was a really long segment, and I they obviously didn't have enough footage.
I you know what it was? It was just more. It was used more as filler. And the way it turned, in my opinion, the reason why it turned out that way is because Mary wasn't there. I think if Mary had been there to add context and give her side, I don't think it would have been as useless as it came across. If that makes sense. Because
Right.
when you talk about people who aren't there, it's like, what's the point?
And that's how I felt. Like, was it a good topic? Yes, but only if they were there, or at least one of them,
At least one of them, yes.
you know? Because we still would have been, she would have been denying, meaning Mary would have been denying, and I'd have been like, you're right, girl. But it makes no sense to talk about this whole subject when both parties aren't there. That's all. Hey, Ryan. Hey, Trey. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to the room. Alrighty, so um, we start off with Andy asking Lisa why her boys would have invited Whitney and not Jen. Did she ever answer a question properly?
No.
Oh my god. You know what? Instead of going through all of this, let's just do the highlights. What were your highlights of the episode? Ugh.
Let's see. Let's just start at the beginning and go through, and then we'll just touch on points, and then we'll talk about the big points. That might be easier. So I can't remember everything in order. So I watched it this morning, but I only focused on certain parts, like the Meredith and Lisa, and Heather backing up Lisa, and Whitney being on point as well. So like we can just go through it real quick.
Um, yeah, they start off with the wolf party. And who did the inviting? You know, Lisa's like half of the guest list was foster care Utah, and the other half was her kids. And yes, her kids did invite people. And Cameron was invited by foster care Utah because he's on the board. Um, Was that where they disclosed that he wasn't on the board? I don't even know.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Meredith always got the proof because they deferred to Meredith to say, Meredith, isn't it true that he's not on the board? How Meredith know?
right.
But Meredith confirms he is not on the board. Um, hold on. Andy asked Jenny why she didn't defend her friend Lisa when all of them were coming after Lisa, saying that she stirs the pot. Jenny then says very weakly that she does stand up for her. When?
Right.
I, Jenny never got a proper foothold in this cast. She never really did.
No, she didn't play it right. That's why. Because
Yeah.
basically your first season really should be about you sitting back watching the dynamics, not getting involved, and us knowing about you. But instead, she kind of inserted herself into situations when she didn't need to.
Hmm.
I mean, speak up when you need to speak up and you're being addressed, but don't just insert yourself. She just played it all wrong.
Yeah. The next segment was talking about Meredith's dad's memorial and the day on the bus, the day that Jen got arrested. Yeah, that Jen got arrested. And that call that Lisa made to Meredith. Now, what we heard, it is Lisa saying, Meredith, I'm so sorry to bother you with this. Go be with your family. She hangs up and she goes, Meredith was at the memorial. And Tweedledee and Tweedledum turn around and look at each other because they knew the memorial was yesterday. Um, Lisa says that when she started the conversation, before she put the speakerphone on, that Meredith said, let me step out of my dad's memorial. And Meredith denies that. She said, why would I even answer the phone if I was at my dad's memorial? Very good point. Touche, Meredith. And she says, I did not say that. And then she states that she was at the hotel and in the bathtub when they called her. She was not at the memorial. And she says, like, just stop it. It's enough with my dad's memorial.
Hmm.
Why would Lisa? You think that was just an honest mistake, Lisa trying to make it seem like she know everything when she don't?
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Cause, but then why lie? She could have said that was an honest mistake.
Exactly. Sometimes when you try to explain yourself and defend yourself, you talk too much. Versus just saying, you know what, my bad. I could be mistaken.
Hmm. I noticed that they tried to do the same thing that Housewives of Miami did with showing behind the scenes during the breaks. So they break from the filming. Um, all the ladies scatter. Lisa tries to talk to Meredith, but she walks off. Um, then we see Lisa in her trailer having a rant about her rant at the Cinco de Mayo night, saying that production knew what they were doing when they filmed her, saying all that smack about Meredith. Mm. Did she think it was going to have no repercussions?
Right.
She couldn't have forgotten that she had on her mic pack because that was the very end of the scene where she takes the mic off and
And
comes
so
out of the
though,
room and throws it at them.
like, what were your
uh,
thoughts on that? Because my whole thing was this: like, those thoughts don't come out of nowhere. It's
it's what you
on,
truly feel.
yeah, under even under stress, even if you are stressed, you tend to be more truthful because you're not filtered at that point. You just let it all hang loose. You can't say you didn't on some level didn't think of those things. Those feelings came from somewhere.
Okay, so Yanni says they have the show behind the scenes because the scenes itself sucks.
Ouch.
Wait, Lisa could not be that stupid thinking that producers would not betray her like that. Yes, they would.
Well,
Oh my gosh. Maybe she did feel that she was more important than she was.
I think so. I don't understand what her problem was.
Mm-mm. Um. Oh, in the trailer we see what's her name? Heather talking to her business partner Bria. Can't remember.
Uh, Bree, I think it was.
Bria, right? Saying how she felt sorry for Meredith and how Lisa treated her. We see Meredith calling home to Seth. It was Seth she was talking to. I hope it was Seth.
It was that.
Yeah. And she said that she's already cried. Um, then we see Jen with Sharif, and they're talking about Meredith and what happened during the first part of the filming of the reunion. Sharif looks uncomfortable, like he got a hemorrhoid and he doesn't have his donut with him.
Stop it.
I feel bad for him. I feel bad for him because it seems like the husband's gonna be up there like all of episode three, or part three, and it's gonna be entirely focused on him. Why did he show up? Couldn't he have a training to go
Right.
to, or a scouting trip, or whatever the hell it is he does? Anyway, the ladies reassemble on the set. Andy is telling Lisa as a sidebar that the afternoon will get really rough. Lisa seems to think that it'll be okay. Really?
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Next, Andy asks about Mary and how many of them have received mean texts from her. Um, Everyone raises their hand with the exception of Jenny. And Heather is so shady and says, that's because she told you everything to your face. um, oh, yeah, I asked myself a question. Why are we talking about this? I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah, I actually wrote down, why are we talking about this? Um, Andy asks why no one stood up for Heather when Mary called her a drunk and body shamed her when they were, that was Vale, right?
Yes.
Yeah, why nobody stood up for her. Um, and everybody started talking, so I didn't catch what anybody said. That when all of them start talking at the same time, it just sounds like a bunch of useless excuses.
It's just yeah. It's always because what it is they won't answer the questions directly, which is frustrating. It's like just answer the questions directly. It's pretty simple. The questions aren't that hard.
Mhm.
Be truthful. Just say, this is what it is at this point.
Mhm. Andy then asked the ladies if they thought that Mary's church was a cult. Meredith says she didn't see anything. Jenny thinks every church is a cult. Um, and Whitney said something, but I don't remember. I didn't hear what she said. Whatever. Jenny said that Jen said that when she attended it, it was a Mother's Day tribute, a Mother's Day service. But the tribute was only to Mary. And she said that they were fanning Mary.
They were.
But maybe the church was hot. Uh, Whitney says that she doesn't believe Mary thinks that she's God, but she uses the fear of God to get what she wants. And then there's this big discussion with Heather saying, people think that Mormonism is a cult, like any religion could be
Mhm.
called that. Um, well, she had a point.
She did.
She had a point. Was this when they brought up the support group for ex
Yes.
members of Mary's church.
Mhm.
Is that true?
From what I understand, yes. I remember hearing about that.
Oh my God. Okay. Mm. Andy then asked Lisa about Cameron, and she starts to tear up, but not like how many times has she started to cry, but like no tears have fallen.
Stop.
I'm just making an observation. Um, she says that he was a wonderful person. He had his surgery, it was very successful, but she's devastated that he's gone. She's known him for a little over 5 years. Meredith asked Lisa if Cameron was on the board of Utah foster care. Lisa says yes. And Whitney says no, he's not. He was a supporter, but he's not on the board. Meredith confirms that Cameron was not on the board. Meredith asked Lisa if Cameron really did give Mary $300,000. Lisa says that she might have been wrong,
Right. That was
but he
hilarious.
but he did mortgage the house. Meredith
Right.
says that Lisa told her off camera that that was not true and that Mary told her the same thing. Like he didn't give her the mortgage money or the refinance or whatever. Um,
But I think it's the amount that was incorrect.
he might have refinanced it for
Right.
300K, but that doesn't mean that all of it went to Mary.
Right.
Wow. Oh. But
Meredith said it was
even
ten
when she,
percent. That was hilarious. She's like it was 10%. You said it was 10%. I was like, ooh, that's a big jump. 30K versus 300K. That's a kind of a big leap.
but even when she's admitting that she's wrong, she's still doubling down on how wrong she is.
Correct.
She needs a master class on how to be on a reality show. I'm sorry. Lisa then brings out photocopies of text messages that are supposed to prove something or the other. Um, and Whitney is like, why don't you just bring your phone out so that we could see the text there? Why are you showing these photocopies? That could be anything.
Right. So they can be fake. They can be crafted by you. Like once you just show us your
Yeah.
phone, I laugh because she's not wrong on that.
So then Whitney said, because they were supposed to be about Cameron like texting with Lisa, saying how Whitney is harassing him, right?
Mhm.
So Whitney's like, I have my own text here. And she actually pulls out her phone and starts reading verbatim, saying, saying I was respectful to him and I asked a few questions. And he replied. Um, so Andy asked Whitney what Cameron told her. Um, and she said that Mary thinks that she's a facsimile of God and that he had a relationship with her when he was younger. Whitney says that Cameron, yeah, that he was very young when this happened, and with Mary, and that he felt like he was taken advantage of. Whoa.
Exactly. I liked Whitney and Heather in this segment in this part because they stuck to
Mm-hmm.
the facts. They stuck to the facts and they were like, no, we're not letting you get away with this one. Like they came prepared to rebut everything Lisa said,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had Meredith as chief counsel to back them up.
Yes. Um, I think this is when Andy asked if it was true, that there was a support group for ex members of the church, and Lisa confirms it. Lisa, how you confirming that? Oh my God. There's a little segment about everybody's kids. I kind of zoned out. Um, the next segment was Andy asking Lisa about Meredith if she wasn't a good friend to her. Like she was saying that Meredith wasn't a good friend to her multiple times. Um, Jen says all she's seeing is what Lisa is telling her, that
Mhm.
my friend of 10 years is not, is not there for me. And that like Meredith is always picking up for Mary. I think we're getting into that situation. Um Heather jumps in and she says that let's see. Lisa was angry about Mary and Meredith's relationship, and she called. And what does Lisa do? She turns around and calls her a garbage whore, and all of these nice things, referencing the rant. Um, so Heather is touching on the core of the issue between the three women, because I'm going to, it is technically between the three women, right?
Mhm.
So Meredith, Lisa, and Jen. Um, Lisa says that her feelings were hurt. Um, and every time she tried to express herself, Meredith kept on saying that it was very offensive. Um, he notes this at this point that Meredith has been asking strategic questions throughout the reunion to state her case and claim that Lisa has not been the good friend to her, but you know, and whereas Lisa's not been the good friend to her, she has been a supportive friend to Lisa. And then they replay the questions and put
Mhm.
timestamps on them.
Right. That was
Shady.
hilarious.
So shady. Oh my God, this is turning into like a ESPN replay here. This is sad. Um, Meredith corroborates what he says. And Meredith says that at the Cinco de Mayo party, Lisa and Mary started to get into an argument, and she was not going to get in the middle of it.
Which I don't blame
Um,
her.
huh?
I don't blame her for that.
Well, it didn't have anything to do with her, did it?
Exactly.
Yeah, like they were arguing about something between them. Um, Jesus. This is how people get killed when you jump into things that have nothing to do with you. Or maybe I'm just from the wrong neighborhood. Maybe. Um, Da, da, da. He says that a huge barrier with her, um, okay, a huge barrier with her between Meredith's relationship and Lisa was that Lisa's friendship was with Jen. Oh, okay. So a huge barrier for Meredith, um, with between her and Lisa was Lisa's friendship with Jen. Jesus, my notes are horrible. I was doing audio notes at this point. It's just nonsense. Da, da, da. Oh, Meredith says that it started back at the Shabbat dinner. And then she starts to cry. Meredith is crying and saying that Lisa really hurt her feelings. And she called Lisa 3 days before her dad died to say, "My dad is dying." Um, and then 2 days after her dad passed, she called Lisa again to invite her to the dinner. Um, and she didn't get anything in between. Lisa from Lisa. Like Lisa, like you know this woman's father is dying and you didn't even call her like at least once a day?
But here's
Text
the
her,
thing.
how you doing, boo?
I will be at her house. Like if that's your best friend of 10 years, you know what, I'm moving in for a couple of days. You need me.
I wouldn't move in. I would bring a casserole and drop it off. I would do the Vicky Gundelson. All I wanted was a casserole. I bring over a casserole like every day, or like if they don't eat meat or something, I send over salads or something for the family. But I wouldn't want to intrude with a death.
I think what it is though, there's a difference. Now, I understand what you're saying, but if you're best friends, if you're as close as you say you are, and your families are that close, there's no reason like you can't be like you, or you should offer like, hey, do you need me to come by every day, or do you want me to stay over? Because I just think that
Um,
if it were my best friend, I would be there with him, and it wouldn't even be an issue. It would just be like, I'm coming. I'm gonna spend a few days with you, and
maybe, maybe
yeah.
it's because I question the depth of their friendship.
Ooh, okay. If you're gonna go
Maybe
crazy,
because I don't
mm,
see Lisa disrupting her non-existent life to go and help somebody else. I don't see that emotional depth in her.
ooh,
I see it
okay.
in Meredith. Now that I can tell them apart, but I just like Lisa's just too self-centered. Like she's not missing dropping by Taco Bell to go and go woo woo to nobody. Look how she treat her own husband.
Oops.
Maybe that's why I'm not like if they were normal best friends, I could see your point, but I can't. You gotta convince me that Lisa has that in her.
I got you.
Mm, sorry.
No, I got you.
Yeah. Next she says, Meredith says that she sent her a text about a month later, um, saying that she loves her family and please stand up for her. She's in immense pain and she's asking for a friend. She's going through what no one should ever have to, and she's in extreme pain. And then she points out that what was said on the hot mic was, you know, like that cut
Hmm.
her to the core.
I understand.
And I think Meredith is doing a reevaluation of that relationship because she said that she heard that like 48 hours before this taping.
Mhm.
Child. Next, we see Lisa starting to defend herself. Um, she says, and Andy tells her it's not landing with Meredith. And Lisa says, that's it's okay, but it's landing with me. What?
Mm.
Yeah. And again, I think that little scene where she said, Andy says it's not landing with Meredith, and she says it's okay, it's landing with me, is the reason why I don't think that she's equipped to be there emotionally for anybody else.
No, it makes sense because she does focus on herself and her family, and I get it. Your family should be your top priority, but if your best friend of 10 years, who you consider sisters, is going through something, you need to be there. There's no, to me, there's nothing you could tell me that would keep me away. She should be there, but I think she's so focused and so, we'll say, it's self-absorbed that she's not getting it.
Yeah. Poor thing. Um, then Andy goes and reads verbatim the rant that Lisa had on the night of Cinco de Mayo. When he's done, he says to Lisa that that was a lot. You think, Andy? Oh, Jesus. Oh, I lost my place. What else did she say? Oh, here you go. Um, Meredith says that the venom and the hatred in which it was said, she says that she was sick. Meredith says that she wouldn't go to see Jen because of the horrible things that Jen said about how Lisa. Wait, about Lisa, how. What? Nothing that I wrote here makes sense. I'm so sorry, y'all. What happened after this? She said that what Lisa said made her sick, physically
Hmm.
sick. And then there's something about Lisa and Jen.
Right. So basically, the issue is Lisa brought up the fact, like, she feels that Meredith tries to dictate, who she can be friends with. Like, she doesn't understand why it's okay for Meredith to be friends with Heather and Whitney, but it's not okay for her to be friends with Jen. Again, I keep saying this. Um, Lisa, you actively sought out a friendship with Jen after everything, after Las Vegas. That's the problem.
Oh, I do remember what happened here. Okay, so it's basically what they're saying. Okay, so Meredith is trying to make the point after hearing the rant from Lisa, right? So she's like, okay, Lisa, you had a problem when Jen called you in the car in front of your kids and rinsed you out, and you didn't want your kids to hear that. But yet you went on mic after Cinco de Mayo and said all of those vile and nasty things about me for not only my kids to hear, but the world to hear, because Jen's rant wasn't even on camera,
Right.
right?
And that was after, remember, the key is also after Meredith, this was after Meredith sent that whole text about what she was going through.
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
then Whitney chimes in and says that Lisa told those same things to people before they started filming. Meredith says she doesn't doubt it. Say what now? So Lisa was saying this not in a fit of rage, but Lisa was talking about this stuff before they were filming to other people.
According to Whitney, yes.
Oh.
And I think this is the part where Heather interjects, so you know what? You you haven't taken accountability. You haven't apologized. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Wait, no, it's
Was that
after
later?
Lisa.
Was that
Yeah,
later?
because
Okay.
Lisa tries to say she's sorry. She expresses her regret for saying what she said and apologizes, but she says it was a buildup of things that happened over the last year. She felt like Meredith was rejecting her. Lisa says that it was rough for her because Meredith put parameters on who she could be friends with, namely Jen. Jen says that her delivery of the apology needs to be a little softer, says the Queen of Apologies. Um, Whitney says that Lisa is sorry she got caught. Lisa tells Meredith that when her father died, she was there for her and that she checked in with her all the time. Heather said that she tried to come to the reunion to defend Lisa, but she's just incapable of the simplest of apologies. Lisa says that she feels like she's shutting down and everybody is coming at her. They just want to break her all the time.
I don't think that's the case. They're trying to hold you accountable, make you see that there are things that you do that aren't right. But when
Mhm.
what killed me was when Heather said Lisa sent her a text message saying, "I hope your father gets better the day after he died." I'm like, really? For real? I was like, what?
Oh my god.
That took me out. That took me out.
Well, again, she, she proved Meredith's point without Meredith opening her mouth. She did not communicate.
Right.
Whitney gives Lisa some advice and tells her to just be quiet in a moment that her friend is devastated, meaning Meredith. Andy wants to know where they go from there. Lisa says she's genuinely sorry and she hopes Meredith is open to hearing her. She said those things in a moment of rage and she's very, very sorry. She hopes that they can work on repairing the friendship. Excuse me, y'all. Meredith said that she saw it less than 48 hours ago and she doesn't know where she stands. She would hate to throw their friendship out the window, but she's devastated. Um, she couldn't fathom her friends saying that stuff about her. She has to question whether if it was intentional. Lisa says it wasn't intentional, but Heather and Whitney call BS on it. You think they
Mm.
all got together before this reunion and said, this is what we're going to do?
Oh, well, we know Heather and Whitney did. Come on now.
Well,
Come on.
no, I know that Tweedledee and Tweedledum did that. But
Yeah,
do you think they looped in Meredith?
probably
Ooh.
because you have to think about you have to think about this. Your theory makes sense because remember, Meredith just said like she had only seen this 48 hours prior.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 48 hours is enough to get on the line. Like, look, this is what's going on. This is what we got. This is what we got to do. And if you
Mhm.
notice what Jen is doing, Jen's not talking too much. If you notice,
Because I think she's just waiting for the guillotine to fall at this point because she knows eventually it's going to come back onto her. Them two little
hmm
fool questions in part one. Do you know your charges? No. What? Okay, let's go to Mary. You know, that can't be it. That was the season. Now this is the reunion, and you have like guest fan questions coming in, or fan questions. Um,
right?
so, I think she knows it's coming for her. Like
She
she can
does.
hear the Jaws music in the back of her head. So she
But
just
I like her. I like the way she's playing this stuff. She's like, I'm not going to do too much and draw too much attention to myself because I know it's coming. I know they're saving me for the finale for the ratings.
not draw too much attention to herself as she wears that get up.
Right. Very understated. Very understated.
And probably on purpose putting all of those clangety clank things on it so that people wouldn't hear her in the mic.
A, true.
That would be low.
I
Like,
will say this about Meredith and Lisa's friendship.
mhm,
The crux of their issue, from what I've seen, is like they don't communicate. When I say don't communicate, they don't communicate directly.
mhm,
It's always passive aggressive or roundabout. It's like, no, if you're as close as you say you are, you should be able to be completely blunt and honest.
mhm,
I shouldn't have to guess what you're saying if we're best friends. Like, even if you cuss me out,
mhm.
like, it's still communication is direct. So I'm wondering what's going on. And again, still gonna say this: the fact that Meredith didn't just tell Lisa straight out. Y'all had a whole year and a half to say for Meredith to say, you know what, you befriended her after what she did to me, so I'm questioning you now. I'm side eyeing you. It hurt my feelings. Had Meredith just said that out the gate, none of this would have happened. And that's just my honest opinion. But the simple fact that you try to like, oh, take the high road, not be mean. No, this is your best friend. That's the like outside of film. That's the one person you need to be like, look, you this some bullshit.
Maybe Meredith was waiting for Lisa to realize that that's the issue because if y'all are that close, like you should know.
I
You
mean,
said one thing that you were
we
not going to befriend this person, and within 48 hours, you were secretly meeting with her.
hmm
You know, it's just
and it was
strange.
obvious though. Meredith's demeanor was obvious. I mean, we
Mhm.
as the viewer could see it. But you know what? That could be just Lisa being self-absorbed.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay. So next week we have Andy asking Meredith what does she mean when she said at the final scene of their season that she would expose everybody who they dated and so on. Meredith says that they know who they are and they know what they've done. Meredith just um, wants them to stop weaponizing her father's death against her and just leave her alone. Andy says that it sounds like she's threatening everyone. And Meredith says that she has information and she can use it um, if she wants to or not. Um, then he brings up the rumor about Meredith and Jen were supposedly seeing the same guy. And Meredith says that that's not true. Jen also says it's not true. And Meredith starts going around asking everybody if they've heard rumors about her in this group. Um, did they? What did they respond to that?
They all said yeah.
Okay. They take a break, but before they take a break before bringing out the husband. So I guess that's the last segment. Um, Everyone scatters. Lisa goes to Meredith on the couch. and wants to know again, because I think this is the second time she's approached Meredith to talk to her. And so Meredith stays this time, and she wants to know if they can talk. Meredith says she doesn't know if they can talk with, without the filming going on. She's making an
Mhm.
excuse yet again. Lisa says to her that she's sorry. She's beyond sorry. Lisa's making another excuse, saying that she's heard. Basically, the reason why she said all of that she said was because she heard that Meredith said something about her shitty house and the
But do it.
renovation that she was doing.
Right. I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna do now.
Yeah, and Meredith is like, why would I? And I believed Meredith in this whole reunion. I felt her emotions were raw with regards to her dad, with regards to Lisa and hearing what Lisa had to say. And in this moment, Meredith will talk about a lot of things. But I don't think Meredith has the time to be talking about your shitty house and your shitty renovation.
I agree with you because I believed Meredith, and Meredith stuck to the facts as they lay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did she not say in full about, was she real, like, blunt and to the point? No, because that's not Meredith's way. So I'm used to that. But she stuck to the facts as they laid, whereas and Meredith never really felt the need to over explain herself. Lisa was over explaining some things. I'm like, you're trying to over explain and deflect, and then you're trying to justify what you did.
But it came off like a knotted mess what Lisa was
Right.
doing, which made me feel like she was guilty.
Exactly.
Like you said, Meredith stuck to the facts and in as few simple words as possible,
Yep.
and then sticking in a few calculated questions to prove her point. Maybe we should get Meredith to host reunions.
Right. But remember what Andy said, like, Meredith, he's on Meredith, blah blah blah, and oh, Andy said Meredith is laying out her case, and she's like, well, I am a lawyer. I'm like, well, there you go.
I don't know.
She, I mean, she's handled Lisa masterfully.
Well, there wasn't much to handle.
But Lisa's trying, but what it is, she's not playing into the emotional side of Lisa's conversation. She's sticking completely to the footage and the facts.
Lisa
Nothing
don't
else.
make much sense though.
Right, because Lisa's being emotional and trying to explain herself.
It's
That's her
just
downfall.
it's ridiculous. Like if you okay, Kenya Moore. I'm just going to use Kenya Moore as an example. Kenya Moore knows how to stir mess, but she also knows how to defend herself. And she doesn't lay herself bare with like ineptitude. And I just feel like Lisa was just so stupid in how she did all of this. Oh my god. Like it's amateur hour on this show, to
Hmm.
be quite honest. I would like for all of them to be replaced at this point. Well, no. I would like to get rid of Lisa, and obviously Jenny's gone, so that's irrelevant. We might have one more season with Jen because her trial got delayed, right? Her
I
July.
still think July. I still think they did that on purpose. That's just my opinion.
Oh Lord. Um, I I would like to see some new people who are not recruited by Lisa, because I think I said that in our mod chat.
Hmm.
If they're recruited by Lisa, I do not want them on the show. These other women have to have friends. Um, and get some fresh meat in here because this is. I'm tired of this. I keep on hearing clown music when watching this reunion. Oh my god. Oh, and let me see if I have that picture. I can't wait till next week. I can't wait because the husbands are coming, and I'm hoping that they are going to like do the whole show with the husbands on there and just focus
The whole
on
show.
Sharif.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find that picture. Hold on. Oh, um, poor thing. I just want him to be uncomfortable the whole time.
He's going to be because like he's gonna get asked where the money came from, or did you know?
Mhm.
And Andy asked like, so what do you think about Stewart pleading guilty?
I know, and hopefully there's a follow up. And where does that leave your case?
Right?
Because there's no one else to cop a plea to.
No, like your bestie and number one assistant has pled guilty. Mm,
And what is he saying about you?
not. You know what is he saying and what has he turned over? I want to know what info he's turned over.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine? Like think about it. Like your bestie, your number one assistant, has pled guilty to the same charges that are against you or similar charges. Ma'am, this my you know armchair lawyer. I take a plea. The alphabets have come after you.
But
They have a 97% conviction rate. They don't come. They've been investigating you for about 10 years. They've arrested all the key players in the plan or in the business, I should say, and
mhm.
they came for you last. And your bestie has flipped. I, I'm just saying.
So wait a
Um,
minute. Can they take a can she take a plea if none was offered?
I, they can what they can do. Her legal team can go to the alphabets and ask. They can ask. They can ask.
Mm.
I would ask for a plea.
Does she have anybody to turn over to at least make the alphabets listen?
I mean, how can I put this politely? Do you really think that she came up with this whole scheme by herself?
No.
Thank you. There we go. Because she could be just a little fish, and there could be bigger fish that she's working with that she can turn over.
Well, well, I don't want to say obviously, but what if she learned all of this from that big company that she used to work for before,
My
where
point.
Stewart used to
My
work,
point.
and maybe before she branched out off on her own to do
Mm-hmm.
similar activities, she can give them somebody from that company.
That's where I was going.
Oh my god. I still don't think that they'll give her a plea though.
If she has information to offer, they will. They'll what they'll do if she goes to them, they're going to ask her what are you offering, or like why would we plead with you when we have you dead to rights? Now, like we just talked about, that if she could offer them someone bigger with tangible info, they'll listen.
So
They'll
wait,
listen.
hold on. Yanni says yes, Ebony. So think about it. If Meredith was the MVP of the reunion, they are doomed. Oh my god. Y'all don't think they do need an injection of new people.
They do. They do.
And I think this was before, everything that went down with Mary and Jenny. I don't think Jenny ever fit. Mary again, I don't think she wanted to participate with this. So I wonder why she decided to do it. It's not like she needed the money. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I feel like the SW That killed her storyline. Hmm. All right, guys, that was part two. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 2, episode 23, reunion part 2. It wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't.
Bad. I the only part that I thought was useless was the Mary part. But I guess if they didn't have anything else, there wasn't much left to the season. Um, whatever. So I'm looking forward to the last part so this can be over with. My God.
Same. This only needed a two-part reunion.
Mhm. Yeah.
It did not.
Yeah.
It didn't need all the hoops. This, yeah, two parts. Like, I don't understand why they do three parts. It's just annoying when they do three parts, especially when the season wasn't warranting three parts.
Okay. What about the fact that those women were defending Jenny will forever be available to rewatch their almighty moral compass that attacked Mary but supported Jenny? Rewind. But oh well. Ah, good lord. Um, you're just happy they didn't stretch it to 4 parts, Ebony. I bet you they would have if Mary was on there.
Yeah, I agree.
Mhm. All right, guys. That's it for today. I gotta skip on out of here. Thank you so much for all of the comments in the live chat. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to see your comments below for the replay crew. Tomorrow we're doing 90 Day.
Yeah, oh yeah, tomorrow is 90 Day.
Oh God. I watched the last half hour. Sorry, the last hour. I gotta watch the first hour.
Gotcha.
Ugh. We shall see. We shall see. So tune in tomorrow. Was you didn't watch it yet, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm hoping that it was better than the last hour.
Oof, it was that bad.
No, I was tired. I was really
I got you.
tired. In essence, I have to rewatch the whole thing because I don't think my notes were that great. How was 90 Day an hour?
It's
How was
because there's.
90 Day an hour long? No, I only watched the last hour. I didn't watch from 8 to 9 because I was watching Salt Lake City.
I think what is with 90 Day, they need to go to. They need to use the format that they did in Paris. 90 Day, was it Caribbean? Use that format. 1 hour, four couples, keep it moving. Like this whole 5 to 6 couples within 2 hours, no one's here for that. We
Well,
don't
it
care.
could be just 4 couples because a couple of them,
Right?
one got kicked off and the other two are useless. They're
Yes.
fake. So just leave it centered around the other main couples and call it a day.
Right.
Even Usman and Kimberly, that's stretching my imagination.
I mean, instead of doing a 2 hour show, why not just do an hour of before the 90 days and do an hour of the other way?
Because no, that would be too much. They want to get 2 hours out of all of these 90
Ugh.
day shows because it's money.
I know, but it's just like you. I mean, they've just run this into the ground.
Yeah,
Too
yeah,
many,
basically.
too many couples, too many iterations. They don't. It's just weird. Like you, stupid, stupid,
Well,
stupid, stupid, stupid.
now that Ukraine is shut down and Russia, so now where are they going to go and focus? Africa.
Africa,
Because all of the restrictions, no visas,
right?
no travel, and all that, have all been lifted.
Mhm.
Africa is back open, so we're going to be seeing more Michaels, more Usmans, um, more of them. You got 52, 53 countries in Africa to explore. Can't wait. Stay out of the Caribbean.
No, we can go there too.
No.
Hmm. Get a little St. Kitts action. You know, maybe some. Ain't Aruba down there? Get with some Arubians.
Mm-hmm.
Get them. There's lots.
No, not
There's
no to Africa. What do you mean, a blobby?
maybe a little Haiti action.
We already did Haiti.
Oh, we can go back there.
God. Mm-mm. They're going to Asia. Ooh. And Latin America. Interesting. At least we get fresh backgrounds and fresh hotties to watch. Did you see Maths and the Dusties? Which Maths? Boston or Australia? Because I'm watching both, Ablavi. Africa needs to get their people out of the Ukraine. Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
all those students that are over there. Mm-mm-mm. Have me tight. Oh, Boston? Yeah, I'm watching it. I don't know. I'm forced to watch it because I go on Heidi's show Thursday nights and talk about it. But I'm not forced to watch Australia. Australia is a daily pleasure for me. We got people breaking glasses at dinner. Ah, it's just so delightful to watch first thing in the morning. Australia is hilarious. Black Girl Jen is in the courtroom. In what courtroom? I thought she got postponed. Australia is the best one, but too many fake lines. But we go into it knowing that it's fake, and that's why we enjoy it so much. They're all
but
on there just to
but
get likes on social media.
but didn't they say like the people like we know some people aren't here for the right reasons and we're okay
The
with that.
producer said that. Yeah, I sent you
Yeah,
that article.
you
Yeah,
did. It was you. Okay.
the producers are very open about it. We know that these people have not signed up to find love. We know that.
And if it
But when
happens,
you
great.
but when you're recruiting from Tinder and Instagram, what do you expect?
Right, and Bumble.
Australia feels scripted, but in the best way possible. In the best way possible. We love it. Um, all right, guys. We will see you tomorrow, right back here, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days.
Yes, yes.
Jamal, any final thoughts?
We are all set.
Yay! So until next time.
Of course.
All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.